So we're breaking camp. There's Happy Thought's tent. I almost walked under her tent last night. It looks so much like mine. And Doc's getting ready. Had his peanut butter for breakfast already.
Peanut butter for breakfast.
That's what I had. I'm not gonna cook. So let's get on this Pinot down there. So I finally met Tinker last night, the 75-year-old. Caught him. Really interesting guy. He's this is his second time to do this. He did it in 2016, and he also did the PCT. I think he said last year. So a very impressive young man. He's got a Rip Van Winkle beard. It looks like Rip Van Winkle. So I'll have to talk to him some more tonight because we're headed to Wesser Shelter. W-E-S-S-E-R. Wesser. That's where we're going to spend the night. It's about 10 miles, I think, so it should be a pretty easy day. Pretty nice day. Weather's gorgeous, 61 degrees today. No rain, knock on wood. So we'll see you down that road. Yeah, say look, little house on the prairie. Oh, this isn't the prairie. But it's a little house. Could have been Abe's house. Let's go see. It looks like it's a shelter maybe. A little too early for a shelter. It's only like 10:30. I think we've gone 4 miles. So let's see what this is. It's 4 walls. Nope. It is a shelter. Cool. Yeah. Nice shelter. It's got a fire pit. It's got some water right by. But it's too early in the day. But that's a shelter, ladies and gentlemen. That's what they generally look like. This one's a small one, maybe 6-man tops. But too early in the day. And odd is, on day 1 and 2, up the Gooch Mountain, I'd say the majority of people are hammock campers. And they kept bragging about how, hey, it wasn't a problem in the cold, how great it was. I have not seen a hammock tent since Gooch Mountain on day 2. Everybody's St. Agnes or Big Agnes, Nemo, or Z-Pack tents. I have not seen a hammock in, well, almost 2 weeks. So you YouTubers, I have a favor to ask. I'm having kind of a competition with Happy Thoughts, Meandering Megan B, who's also vlogging and is part of our family. And she has like 4,000 subscribers, and I only have like 600 or so. And so if you could, if you look down on the lower right side, there's a subscribe option. And if you could subscribe so I can try to catch up to Happy Thoughts, or at least get close. It doesn't cost you anything. You can unsubscribe when this is all done, whatever. There's nothing that you incur. So if you could subscribe to my channel so I can catch up. I've been accusing her of using nudity on the trail to enhance her subscriber numbers, but she says she's not doing that. I said, well, I may try doing that if I don't get my numbers up. She has pointed out that once you get past 1,000 subscribers, your channel gets monetized, meaning you make money. She's made $200 or $300, I don't know how much, but it's based on the number of subscribers and views you get. I'm getting a lot of views, but I'm not getting any subscribers. So if you could do that, what I want to do with the money, I don't need the money. I got my stimulus check coming. Now I've got a friend I've never met named Jenn Orr, Jennor. Look her up. She's on Facebook, but she's an ultra cyclist that I've never met, but I've gained some tremendous respect for because she beats the boys. She did a subset of the Race Across America 2 years ago called Race Across the West. It's the first 900 miles of the Race Across America. First 190 miles from San Diego to Durango. So you get the Sierra Nevadas, you get the desert, and you get the Rockies, Wolf Creek Pass and all that. It's a cool event. And she won it overall, and it wasn't close. And I saw that and I said, geez, I'd like to be a part of her crew, because I've crewed 3 times before and crew chiefed once. And I've been on winners and I've been on losers. But I just think she has a good shot of at least winning the women's division, and probably beating most of the boys. And I've got 3 daughters and a wife and a female dog, and I like it when women can outdo the boys, because I've always thought that women were better at endurance than men, probably because of the evolutionary changes that came down through the process of bearing a child and rearing a child. So I'm thinking about even opening up a GoFundMe page for her, because it's been a tough year for her. She was all set to go last year, and she's in her prime, and generally in long distance cycling. Between the age of 32 and 45 is your prime. And I'm not sure exactly how old she is, but I got a feeling she's in that range. And she was all geared up last year, and I was going to crew for her, and the race got canceled because of you know what. Anyways, she was going to do it again this year, and I think she's a physical therapist by trade. I think the demands of her job and the loss of income and loss of sponsorship probably caused her to have to back off. And she says she's got a bad knee. Jen, you need to raise the saddle 1/4 inch every day, and then raise it back down the next day. That's an old trick Lon Haldeman taught me. You vary the saddle height just by 1/4 inch every day, you won't have leg problems or knee problems. He also taught me that if you're having saddle sores, if you raise the angle of the seat 1/4 inch every day, up and down, varying every other day, you won't have saddle sores. And I've never had a saddle sore, and I've had a sore knee. So I think Lon was on to something. Anyways, so I'd like to help Jen out. I'd like to see her race next year. And problem is, it's an expensive race to do. I had a friend from Denmark once. He spent $40,000 to race. He overdid it a bit. He had 2 Class A 32-foot motorhomes, videography crew, and whenever we passed him, we noticed he was in one of the RVs and it was shaking wildly. So we went up to look the rules up to see if there's any rules against conjugal visits, because that appeared to be what was going on in there, but there's no such rule. But it's an expensive race to do. When I won 2-man in 2003, it cost me $10,000, and I only won $5,000, so it's like the worst return on investment I ever made. I'd like to help Jen out. J.O. is what I call her, J.O. So I'll talk more about Jen later on. This is my new best friend, Roly Poly.
Hello.
Tell the audience where you got your name.
Might be easier to show them in a minute.
Well, I'll describe it. That's how she gets her pack on. She kind of rolls into it.
Pretty much. It's pretty heavy.
Yeah. Anyway, she's a member of the family, and we're just out here at this really gorgeous view. And I'm giving her advice on that she needs to do a Camino in Spain, so I think I got it half convinced. Maybe she'll do it with me and my brother next year. Okay, a little person home. A Lilliputian. Trail magic.
That's awesome.
You got a fire, got coffee with a barista. Look at these guys from Tennessee. Just out here in the middle of nowhere. Right. Right. Pizza.
But like DerDieDas said, maybe he'll put us on our ass for a couple
Banana
days.
in
I
one
don't know.
hand, pizza in the other.
Right, a muffin.
Calorically challenged.
We got tons of
Hey bro, this is Tinker. He used to work with Bell Labs back when Pinzas was there. Yeah, he knows the guy. He's
He
the
was
guy-
epistemic.
He was epistemic. This guy had an office in the basement where the real science took place. So I'm at the top of another natural high, climbing out of that magic, trail magic that behind us. Boy, that guy was special. He owns a hostel at the 425 mark, and he gave us a bracelet to remind us to stop there. He said it's right on the trail, you can't miss it. And this guy is just super nice. I didn't catch his name, but I guarantee you I'll know it by the time I get there. He has kayaks. You can go out kayaking. I think he said they're rentals, but I don't care. I want a kayak. It's great exercise on the chest and back, pulling those muscles another way. I mean, he had everything there. He had beer, wine, pizza, donuts, muffins, multiple bags of Snickers. Everything a hiker wants. He knows what he's doing. It's 425 mark. You got to stop there. Really nice guy. He even brought a minister that could bless your back and make it better. So, guy knows what he's doing. There must have been 20, 30 people there. We were definitely in the front end of the bubble. And he's doing a little advertising for his hostel. So we'll see y'all down that road. A little bit more about that hiker named Tinker, who's 75 and older than me. He has done the PCT. He's done this before. This is his second time. But the thing that intrigues me about him is he used to work at Bell Labs back when Bell Labs was something. He said his office was down in the basement where the real science happened. But he knew William Shockley. He knew Arnaud Pinzas, the guy who got the Nobel Prize for discovering cosmetic background radiation. He discovered it by accident. So a little bit more about this Pinzas guy that Tinker and I were talking about. It's one of the all-time favorite stories in science. Wilson and Pinzas were two guys from Bell Labs that had a radio telescope mounted on top of a building. And I forget what they were looking for. I think it was pulsar signals or something like that. But they kept getting this interference. And they tried different things to get rid of this interference. And at one point, they thought it was bird shit. And so they went out and cleaned the bird shit off of the radio telescope and still kept getting this interference. So in desperation, they contacted these guys at Princeton, the Ivy League, and said, hey, do you know what this is? And the guys from MIT, or from Princeton, and they're so little known now, I can't even remember their names. They were looking for cosmic background radiation, the leftover radiation from the original Big Bang. And when they saw the data from Pinzas and Wilson, they immediately knew what it was, that was the cosmic background radiation, or CMBR, as those of us who know what it is call it. Anyways, Pinzas and Wilson won a Nobel Prize. And the guys from Princeton who actually said what it was, they got squat. They got made fun of. And Tinker knew Pinzas. I didn't ask him about Wilson. I'll ask him tonight. He sounds like he was also at Bell Labs during the time of William Shockley, who was one of the co-founders and Nobel Prize winners for discovering the transistor. So I need to ask him about that as well. This guy's a gold mine of knowledge. I'm really going to have fun. So Pinot and I, we're going to dine at Rocky Bald. I've got one of those on the top of my head. So she's got the Merlot and the Cabernet. What do you got? You got a white and a red, right?
Yep, red and white.
And I got the peanut butter, so we're set. So, if it looks like I'm always having fun, yes! By the way, that cosmic background radiation that they discovered, that's the same thing you see on a TV if you have a ear antenna and you don't get a station, that the scrambled stuff in the background. That's leftover remains, or poop, if you want, from the original Big Bang. That's what they won a Nobel Prize for it. So, you know, if you had been smart back in '52, you could have got a Nobel Prize by just turning on your TV. Hey, bro. 1088 from the class, AT class of 2008. You remember this? You were here. You got to remember this. I'm going up there where time moves faster. Too slow down here. I'm going up. Ready or not, I'm going up. Bro, I'm here where you were. You need to come back and do this with me. This is great. I'm sure you remember this. 1088, class of 2008, AT. I am there. Woo, on top of the world, just like Jack. Here we got a photo op. I'm here with Pinot. She's happy because she picked up 2 bottles of wine at the magic trail magic. So she's walking faster today because she's not going to drink it till she gets in. So I'm taking a picture of my competition, taking a picture of the fire. Let's make it. Come on, we can beat her, gang. Subscribe below, down here.
Like and subscribe his channel.
Thank you. Free commercial for my competition. We can beat her. We can do it.
Beat her. That's the goal.